Alright, so we're going to go over our Unit 7 study guide. Question 1. A woodworker makes a wooden frame with a length of 3 3/6 feet and a width of 1 2/6 feet. How much greater is the frame's length than the width? So to solve this problem, we need to subtract these two mixed numbers. So I would rewrite this as a subtraction problem. 3 3/6 minus 1 2/6. And when we subtract mixed numbers, whoops, sorry, I made a mistake. That needs to say 6. When we subtract mixed numbers, we start with the fraction. So I'm going to start here and subtract these two. 3 minus 2 leaves 1. I don't do anything to my denominator, so I keep the 6. Then I need to subtract my two whole numbers. So 3 minus 1 was 2. 2 1/6 should have been your answer, choice C. Number 2. Phil ate 3/6 of a pizza, and John ate 2/6 of the same pizza. Together, how much of the pizza did they eat? So the word together here lets me know that I need to add these two numbers. So that would be 5/6. Question 3. What is 2 2/5 plus 5 3/5? So I would take my fractions and I'm going to add those first. 2 2/5 plus 5 3/5. I'm going to add the numerators. I'm going to keep the same denominator. Then I'm going to add my whole numbers. Now, if you get a mixed number and the fraction part of it is the same, like 5/5, the top is 5, the bottom's 5, that number is equivalent or the same as one whole. So instead of writing 7 5/5, I would change that to a 1 and add it to the 7, and it would become an 8. Because in the answer choices, you don't see 7 5/5, but you do see 8. Number 4. Marco runs 9/10 of a mile. Elsa runs 5/10 of a mile. How much further, this word farther here, lets us know that we need to subtract. How much farther does Marco run than Elsa, and why? So I need to subtract 9/10 minus 5/10, and that would give me 4/10. So looking at my answer choices, that would be C. Alright, number 5. Which expression equals this number? So you're looking, if you added these up, which one would be 1 3/12? So, let's look at choice A. If I add these fractions, that would give me 4/12 and a whole number of 1. That does not match my number up here, so I know it can't be choice A. On B, if I add the fractions, 1 plus 4 is 5/12. I have 1 as the whole number. Again, it doesn't match the number at the top. Choice C, 3 plus 4 plus 6 gives me 13/12. And I can't leave it as an improper fraction. So over to the side somewhere, I would do my division problem. And I would see that it is 1 1/12, which again doesn't match the number at the top, so it can't be it. Just to make sure it's choice D, though, I'm still going to add and check my work. So I would say 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8. So all together, that would be 15/12. And again, improper fraction. So when I fix that, I'm going to say 15 divided by 12. That leaves me a remainder of 3. So my mixed number is 1 3/12, which does match the number I started with. So it's got to be choice D. Number 6 is asking you to do the same thing, but with 1 5/6. So this time, if I add these, that's 6/6, which is the same as 1. Not it. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 2 more, 10, 11. 11 over 6, but that's improper. I can't leave it like that. When I fix it, when I divide over here, that's going to leave 1 and 5 over 6. Does that match the number up here? Yep. So this is going to be my answer. If I wasn't positive, I could finish adding the rest of these and check. This one would be 6, 6, which is the same as a 1, so that's not it. And then at the bottom, that would be 1 and 6, 6, which is the same thing as 2, so that's not it. So it must be choice B. Question 7. We're multiplying now. When I multiply a whole number by a fraction, the first thing I do is put that whole number over 1. Then I multiply my numerators. Then I multiply my denominators. Choice D. Question 8. A music student practices piano for 3/8 of an hour each day for 6 days. How many total hours does this music student spend practicing piano? Now, this tells me it's 6 whole days, and he's doing this every single day. So that means I need to multiply it by the 6 days. So to multiply, I'm going to put it over 1. 3 times 6 is 18. 8 times 1 is 8. That is an improper fraction, though. So when I fix it, I'm going to say 18 divided by 8. So my mixed number should be 2 and 2/8, which would be choice C. 2 more problems to go. Question 9. Deshaw eats 2 6-box of cereal for breakfast each morning. If she eats the same amount of cereal every day, here's a clue word, for 5 days, how many boxes of cereal will Deshaw eat? So she's eating this many every single day for 5 days. So I'm going to multiply it by 5. I've got to put that over 1. 2 times 5 is 10. 6 times 1 is 6. We got another improper fraction that we have to fix. 6 will go into 10 one time, and that leaves a remainder of 4. So my answer should be 1 as my whole number, that comes from here, and then 4 is my remainder, so it's the numerator, and we keep the exact same number for our denominator. So my answer choices had the improper fraction and the mixed number, so I need to find the one that has both of those, and that's choice A. Last question, we're finding the missing number. What could they have multiplied 1/10 by to get 6/10? So obviously, if they're multiplying it by a whole number, the denominator would have stayed the same because they would have put it over 1, and 10 times 1 is 10. So now we have to ask ourselves, 1 times what will give me 6? And the only number that could be is 6. 1 times 6 equals 6. So choice D. Alright, so at this point, if you still have any questions about your study guide, you can rewatch this video, or you can come ask your teacher at this point. Thanks.